Hey guys, welcome to Clix Corner. First of all, I've came up with a method of rating sets that isn't like using numbers or something that I can later come back to and think, nah, I don't agree with myself. The way I'm now going to review and rate sets is by discussing how it is that I am going to go about buying it. So, Avengers Infinity, I'm going to buy the singles. There is just outright not enough interest in this set for me to buy it by boosters or by the brick especially. I thought this was going to be a really big set like Thor, and then I would have said I would be buying it by the brick or something, as much as I don't really want to be spending the money at the moment. But there's just nowhere near as much in this set as I would have to justify even buying boosters. So how this set works is there are 50 regular size figures and 25 colossals, and the reason for this is that there is a different colossal in every single booster. Now this is interesting because it means that obviously WizKids being WizKids, a lot of these colossals are a bit daft. There is a lot of sculpture use going on, a lot of pointless things, only to justify having a colossal in every booster, which is, and I'm not trying to be harsh here, I'm not trying to criticize everything, but it's a marketing campaign. It's obvious people love colossals, and so people are going to go mad about buying this set, and that's totally fine. It's an exploitable market. The problem I have with it is that most of the colossals might as well have not been colossals, but we'll get into that in more detail. The package is as if it was a regular super booster, but with 4 loose figures in the bottom of it as well. Now, I once got a Brimstone where the bottom part of the plastic super booster, the plastic bit in the super booster that was holding him was broken, so it was just sagging down into the bottom bit. That bottom bit is where your figures now are, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying it's happened before, and it certainly could happen again. And I swear to God, if you pull a dune buggy and your dune buggy crushes your chase, you're not going to be happy about it. If you didn't get enough broken figures before, this new packaging might do it for you. What I want to say at this stage is I definitely don't think this is a bad set. It's not one for me, but it's not really a bad set. However, I'm still going to be complaining a lot. I have a couple of rants to have that I've more or less planned out in advance. But if you're basically going to be like in my Harley Quinn review, you're going to be the kind of person who's just saying in the comments, well, you're just trying to complain about everything. The thing is, I'm not trying to complain about everything, I just do. I see no reason not to complain about the many things I find to complain about, because, quite honestly, there shouldn't be so many things to complain about. In some cases, I'm just being critical, and in many cases, I genuinely feel like it is a dumb thing, so keep that in mind, and maybe go watch a different set review if you want to just hear about how amazing this set is, because I don't think it is amazing. Like I say, I was expecting it to be like Thor. I was expecting it to be full of really big names, and it's just not. In fact, it's full of unclicked figures, which seem to be the flavour of the month at the moment. Unclicked sets filled with Iron Man and Captain America and Thor, although it's not exactly anything new to have sets filled with numerous amounts of Captain Americas, I suppose. So, I think that's more or less everything I had to say about the set in general. It's an interesting one because looking at it, I didn't think there was anything that was going to break the game in it. But there's some of the figures I thought were going to be garbage are actually the pip to be meta things. So without further ado, I might as well get into actually talking about the set now. So first of all, there's an Iron Man, and he has this Avengers Infinity trait. When he only attacks characters of 100 points or more, you may modify attack or damage +1. Now that's pretty good. His speed power is sidestep, a running shot, but only if no other characters have been given costed actions this turn. Now that's interesting. Iron Man has no attack powers, and the only damage powers he has are prob and perplex. Now prob is definitely not something you expect to see on an Iron Man. Don't know a whole bunch about this particular comic storyline he's from. Maybe it makes sense. Black Widow. Now this is very interesting, because as I say again, it doesn't really do what Black Widow does. This is a completely different thing, origin before the Avengers. At the beginning of the game, if Black Widow is part of an Avengers theme team, she can use the Avengers team ability, otherwise she modifies her attack and defense +1 this game. Now there is also a Guardians of the Galaxy one like that, which we will talk about when we come across someone who has it. So normally with Black Widows you expect incapacitate, but in this case she's got mind control and support, which is a bit different. I hold a sort of policy of if it's Black Widow, never play it. Maybe this will be different because it's a completely different figure. However, I genuinely can't see the point in playing this figure. It has a really diffused dial. 50 points is so far from worth like Perplex nowadays. The support is just going to be outshined by Jane Foster, who already has the Avengers keyword as well. And the 2 clicks of exploit weakness at the end, you know, you could get that from anywhere. So I feel like this is just another pointless Black Widow figure. And then there's a Hawkeye. He's got the same trait, and he has precision strike, but may use it with 2 targets. Now that's interesting. But he is 50 point figure. I feel like there are a lot better range combaters that you can find, including much better Hawkeyes that are cheaper. I just don't understand the mind control close combat expert combination. I mean, what? Psychic Blast and TK don't exactly gel with those either. It's interesting, when the Hammer of Thor Moondragon came out, you know, it was a bit expensive for a Psychic Blast 2 damage, but it was a good figure. And since then, they seem to have made absolutely no attempt to make a Moondragon that is good, and this follows that trend as far as I'm concerned. However, there is a Moondragon later in the set that I do prefer. And now we're going to take a look at the new primes, because we've reached Firefall. Now, when they invented primes, and it was explained to me what they were, I was like, right, so they're basically making it back to when your unique was your chase. Or rather, your uniques were your chases. And I said, well, why didn't they just make the uniques chase again, like primes, and make the prime ring for the figures that they want to make unique? So basically what they've done now is primes have unique rings instead of the nice green ring, which was the only part of primes that I actually liked. And they are still the same prime rare, whatever they define prime rarity as, 1 per case, 1 per brick, whatever they've decided it is in that particular set. And you can now use multiple primes in one team, because they're just unique. So they're still prime rare, but there's no prime ring, it's a unique ring now. But there are still unique rings on other figures in the set. Anybody confused yet? Do you remember when WizKids said they were going to try and make the game a bit more understandable? Yeah, I don't think they know what that means. When Firefall is adjacent to one or more friendly characters with the Space Knight keyword, modified defense +1. But this is the worst defense power I've ever seen. It's like an optional +1. Like, it's like a conditional +1, sorry. A +1 that can be outwitted. It's just a +1. And you know what the funny thing is? Because the first time we saw this was with Javelin. And Javelin has a dial of combat reflexes. And this guy also has energy shield deflection on his other 3 clicks, which is obviously much better than just getting a regular +1. I don't understand it at all. This defense power is literally better than nothing. That is as far as I can say. I would rather have regen on my opening click than nothing. But I would rather have anything but this +1. Well, not regen, because regen's pointless on click 1, but I'd rather have any defense power on click 1 than this. I think when her got previewed was when I realised that this wasn't going to be the set that I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was going to be ram-packed with your favourite characters, and actually as soon as I realised that there was multiple versions of someone I'd never heard of, who's never been Clix before, I thought, yeah, well, there's space in this. For 90 points, he's rocking an 11 penetrating with prob, and power cosmic is always nice. For an extra 10 points when she's KO'd, you can generate a standard immobile object in her square, which is something I don't think exists, and give it 3 cocoon tokens. For the rest of the game, at the beginning of the turn, you can remove one, and when you remove the last one, you can play Kismet on click 1 in that square instead. She has support, and when she uses it, she increases the damage, the healing, sorry, by 1 if the target has no action tokens. Now, what's really weird about this next thing is that there are very few generics in this set, yet we've got a generic shield agent. And the reason for this, I believe, is that it is a sculpt reuse of the Nick Fury. So it has energy shield deflection, passenger 0 on its space rig. But again, I don't think 40 points is necessarily worth this now. This looks like a Nick Fury era, the set era kind of generic. And I think since they've redefined what you can get for 40 points, I don't think it's as worth it as it once was. But I definitely don't think it's too bad. I'm interested to see how much use Kismet is going to be. I definitely prefer her. She has a weird dial. This looks like it could have been out of Galactic Guardians. Like, for 140 points, this? Seriously? She has a traded ability to create a Enclave Scientist 3 times per game. And then she has a speed power at the end of a dial to remove all of them to create a Cosmic Enclave Bystander. It's an Enclave Scientist. It's 3 range outwit bystander. It's definitely not bad. And the Cosmic Enclave is packing a lot in. He is a big brutey man, if you've got all your scientists still alive. Problem is, Kismet itself sucks. Would you rather play this than Jakeem? Like, seriously? No. The interesting thing about this Tigra is it is boring. And they usually really like Tigra. They usually make some really good Tigers. I really don't rate stealth blades as a combination anymore. Because I feel like we're living in a post-speed power game now. Like, they definitely have their use, but if you don't have charge or ring shot or hypersonics to start off with, or at least sidestep something, then the figure's never going to be all that good. Nonetheless, she's got the Avengers Infinity trait, she's got traded lead climb, and when she uses it, after resolutions, roll a d6. If the result is equal to or higher than the number of squares moved, she may be given a close action at no cost. Now, that's where she gets her moving attack from, but it's a conditional moving attack. Like, no, I'd rather just play a 45-point Blades piece that can move an attack. Star Fox is an interesting one. Me and my dad read both the Star Foxes in this set and thought, wow, they really don't like making a decent Star Fox. Turns out the Chase Star Fox is going to be the big thing from this set. Iron Patriot. Force Blast Defend. When an adjacent friendly character is hit by an attack that did not also hit Iron Patriot, once per game she may become the hit target of the attack instead. Which would be pretty good if there wasn't a 60-point flash that could do the same thing. Again, this has just got Incapacitate and Smoke Cloud, Perplex, and a bit of Outwit at the end. When you see Cosmo the dog, there's not going to be any reason why you would play her over him. This is an awful figure in my personal opinion. And we get to the Captain America title character. We've been waiting for this, because this was obviously going to happen eventually. Relying on Incapacitate in the dial is weird. His +1 is when a friendly character uses Force Blast, Incapacitate, or Smoke Cloud during a costed action. After resolutions, remove an action token from them. Barrier is a free, and when Captain America Principled uses it, place up to 8 blocking terrain markers. A -2, that is a 8 blocking terrain markers free action. Not bad. In fact, probably quite annoying. If no character has made an attack this turn, until your next turn, characters can't make attacks except using Incapacitate. This includes friendly characters. Now that is interesting. It's like a peaceful captain. He's trying to maintain the peace in a game where you are supposed to defeat your opponent in the short amount of time you are given in a constructed event. Nonetheless, his -2 is interesting. And, you know, his -4 is usable if you're not going to attack yourself. And I think if the Professor X title character hadn't came out, which was garbage, this would be easily the least interesting title character there is. And I'm completely not surprised that Captain America would do that. I feel like if this came out 5 years ago, it would be good, but I feel like it's absolutely not now. Improved targeting ignores elevated terrain, hindering terrain characters. Phase and Teleport, Stealth. When unseen, uses Phase and Teleport. After resolutions, you can use Smoke Cloud at no cost. So that's definitely not bad, giving yourself your own smoke. 18 defenses with 10 attack and 9 range is definitely not bad either. Unique modifier, when an opposing character uses Colossal Retaliation to make an attack, modify its attack -2. This is going to be really good in Sealed, at least. I'm not sure about the rest. But Retail might be a big thing again now. Not that it ever wasn't, like. Super Senses, but succeeds on 4 to 6. Damage power is Outwit Prob. For 65 points, I just feel like it's not worth it anymore. It takes up too much of a chunk of your team for a conditional ability, Outwit and Prob. You know, I mean, no thank you. Thor, I'm just going to say, no damage reduces. Phase and Teleport, no thanks. Moondragon, I'm going to say, Phase and Teleport, no thanks. I'll also talk about Quasar, because he has ability to free. Place a friendly character that can use the Power Cosmic Team ability that has not been given an action this turn adjacent. That characters can't be given actions until your next turn. Any actions at all. But you're going to need it because, as I've been pointing out, absolutely none of these chases has any moving attack. So that's the end of my first part of my set review for Infinity. I thought I'd split them up into multiple parts this time because it just makes editing and everything easier. So if you want to see the rest of my bad parts of the set, wait for the Colossal Set Bad Parts video. And if you want to see some more positive reviewing, then check out my other videos that'll be coming soon on the good part. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.